The hardest part was watching my son lower his expectations in real time. That's what finally stayed with Garrett Bennett after everything else faded. Not the money, not the cabin argument, not even the phone calls from the bank. Just Owen standing beside the birthday cake, trying not to look disappointed before anyone had officially canceled yet. By the fourth year, he already understood patterns. The party happened on a Saturday afternoon in early February at a small trampoline place outside Denver. Nothing extravagant. Pizza, paper cups, kids screaming themselves exhausted into foam pits. Leah's side of the family came early carrying gifts too large for our trunk afterward. Neighbors showed up. Owen's second-grade teacher even stopped by briefly. My family never came. Again. At first I kept checking my phone automatically between conversations. Then less often. Then not at all. Around halfway through the party, Owen walked over while I was stacking paper plates near the cake table. "Maybe Grandma forgot again?" he asked carefully. Not angry. Protective, like he was trying to help me feel less awkward. I remember forcing a smile immediately. "They've just been busy, buddy." He nodded too quickly. That was the moment something inside me shifted permanently, because I realized I'd spent years translating neglect into softer language so my son wouldn't carry the emotional weight of it directly. That night after everyone left, Leah found me alone in the kitchen throwing away untouched cupcakes. "You don't have to keep protecting them," she said quietly. I didn't answer because part of me still believed consistency eventually earned reciprocity. 4 days later, the family group chat suddenly became active again. Photos of hiking gear, cabin packing lists, my younger sister Emily asking whether anyone wanted cinnamon whiskey this year. Then my mother sent the message, $400 for the cabin weekend. Everyone's chipping in. No mention of Owen's birthday. Not even a late acknowledgement. I sat inside my truck outside a grocery store reading the message over and over while snow drifted slowly across the windshield. Then I opened Venmo. Sent $2. Memo line, wrong guest list. After that, I muted the conversation and drove home. The strange thing is, I didn't feel explosive anger. Mostly clarity. For years, several shared family systems quietly ran through my accounts because I was good with finances. Vacation cards, cabin maintenance funds, shared travel reimbursement apps, nothing dramatic individually. Just layers of administrative trust. Everyone stopped noticing because everything always worked. That night, after Owen fell asleep, I sat beside Leah on the couch and started separating my name from everything. Shared card authorizations frozen. Vacation fund access revoked. Automatic reimbursements suspended. I flagged several pending cabin-related charges attached legally to accounts carrying my liability. No revenge speeches. Just boundaries translated into paperwork. The fallout started 2 days later. Emily called first, annoyed. My card declined booking groceries for the cabin, she said. Did something glitch? Then my mother texted asking whether I accidentally locked the travel account. By evening, the family group chat turned frantic after multiple charges failed simultaneously. That's when the bank got involved. A fraud department representative called me directly regarding unusual authorization disputes tied to shared spending activity. Her voice stayed professionally neutral while reviewing transactions. "Are these vacation-related purchases authorized by you?" she asked. I looked across the living room where Owen was building Lego towers on the carpet. "No," I said calmly, "not anymore." The silence afterward felt strangely clean. For the first time, the situation existed outside family interpretation. There were policies now, liability reviews, institutional definitions of access and responsibility. You can emotionally manipulate guilt easier than banking regulations. Mom called crying later that night. "You're making birthdays transactional," she said. That sentence bothered me enough that I actually responded immediately. "It stopped being about birthdays," I told her quietly, "when Owen learned not to expect you." She didn't answer for several seconds, because I think that was the first moment anyone considered what repeated absence actually looked like from a child's perspective. A few days later, Dad called privately. His voice sounded exhausted. "I started trying to remember the excuses," he admitted, "for all the birthdays we missed. I stayed quiet. I couldn't keep them straight," he said softly. That hurt more than if he'd defended himself. The cabin trip still happened eventually, but smaller, more expensive. Awkward enough that apparently nobody enjoyed it much. Meanwhile, Leah and I took Owen skiing that same weekend instead. Nothing dramatic. Cheap lodge coffee. Wet gloves drying near heaters. Owen laughing uncontrollably every time he wiped out trying to snowboard. At one point he looked up from the bunny slope and asked, "Is this our family trip now?" I almost answered automatically, "Temporary. Maybe next year everyone else will come." Instead I looked at Leah beside me and said, "Yeah, buddy, I think it is." That night in the hotel room, while Owen slept sprawled sideways across the bed in damp ski socks, I noticed unread messages piling up from my family again. Apologies mixed with explanations. Promises about doing better. I didn't block anyone, but I didn't answer either. Because for the first time I understood something uncomfortable. People can love you genuinely and still become so accustomed to your understanding that they slowly stop treating your disappointments as urgent. And children notice that long before adults admit it out loud.